What if one of the most repeated ideas about money is quietly hurting people? You've heard it before. Money isn't important. Just focus on happiness. Material things don't matter. And on the surface, that sounds wise. But look closely at who usually says it. It's often people who already feel safe, or people who stopped believing safety was possible. Scroll through social media and you'll see posts about simple living and rejecting materialism. But those posts are written from warm homes, with full fridges, reliable internet, and paid bills. There's a contradiction hiding in plain sight. Because not having money doesn't just change what you own, it changes how you think, how you choose, and what kind of life is even available to you. Today, we're going to talk about the side of money that nobody likes to admit. Not greed, not luxury, but survival, stress, and freedom. Imagine waking up every morning knowing one problem could collapse everything. A car repair, a medical bill, a missed paycheck. That's not rare. That's normal. When money is tight, every choice becomes painful. You don't just ask, "What do I want?" You ask, "What can I survive?" Groceries become math problems. Opportunities become risks. Helping others becomes guilt. This creates a mental cage, not because people are weak, but because scarcity forces narrow thinking. When resources shrink, your world shrinks with them. You don't think about growth, you think about getting through the week. This is why financial stress feels heavier than other problems. It touches everything: sleep, relationships, confidence, health. It's not loud, it's constant. Most adults trade time for money. That sounds fair, until you measure it honestly. 8 hours of work, plus preparation, plus commuting, plus exhaustion. Now ask yourself a dangerous question. If your job stopped paying tomorrow, would you still go? If the answer is no, then your time isn't being chosen. It's being sold. Time is the only thing you never get back. Yet millions spend most of it doing something they wouldn't do freely. Not because they lack dreams, but because bills demand obedience. This is the real cost of low financial security. You don't control your schedule. Your schedule controls you. And when your time is owned, your energy is rationed. Your creativity shrinks. Your patience runs out faster. That's not laziness. That's survival fatigue. We're told love is the most important thing. But love under pressure changes shape. Arguments about money are rarely about numbers. They're about fear. One person wants stability, another wants relief. One sees danger, another sees hope. Neither feels safe. Financial pressure turns small disagreements into emotional landmines, not because couples are broken, but because stress needs somewhere to go. Even parenting changes, not because parents don't care, but because time and money decide what's possible. Presence becomes a luxury. Opportunities become limited. Choices shrink. Money doesn't create love, but the lack of it can quietly starve it. We think money buys stuff, cars, clothes, houses, but that's not the real product. Money buys options, distance from danger, the right to say no. With financial security, failure becomes information, not disaster. You can leave bad jobs, help people you care about, take risks without collapse, rest without panic. Without it, every decision feels like it could end you. Not because it will, but because it might. That constant pressure doesn't build character. It builds fear. And fear makes short-term choices look like wisdom. Stress isn't abstract. It lives in the body. When money is uncertain, your nervous system stays alert. Sleep becomes shallow. Focus weakens. Irritation rises. Immunity drops. And then comes the cruel loop. You avoid doctors because of cost, while stress is making you sick. The problem creates the condition, and the condition makes the problem worse. This is why poverty ages people faster, not just financially, biologically. Security doesn't guarantee happiness, but insecurity almost guarantees strain. Usually those voices come from two places. Group 1. People who never had to worry. They confuse comfort with wisdom. Group 2. People who gave up trying. They protect themselves by pretending struggle is a philosophy. But people who truly understand wealth see something different. Money isn't meaning, it's leverage. You can't travel without it. You can't build without it. You can't give without it. Money doesn't define values, it funds them. When survival dominates, logic shrinks. You choose relief over strategy. Now over later. Comfort over planning. Not because you're broken, but because stress rewires the brain. Security expands thinking. Scarcity contracts it. This is why financial struggle repeats. Not because of intelligence, but because of pressure. Clarity creates better decisions. Better decisions create more clarity. It's a loop in both directions. We confuse appearance with stability. The flashy car, the expensive phone, the polished image. But wealth is usually quiet. It's paid-off things, boring investments, low stress. Real wealth isn't what people see. It's what you don't worry about, not impressing others, but protecting your future. A financially stressed population is easy to manage. Workers can't leave. Borrowers stay trapped. Consumers chase relief. Financial education creates independence. And independence weakens control. Which explains why it's rarely taught. A person who understands money becomes harder to exploit. Wanting financial stability is not shallow. It means you want peace, choice, safety, time. You don't need infinite wealth. You need enough. Enough to stop panicking, stop shrinking, stop choosing fear. Enough to let values lead instead of bills. Money doesn't create purpose. But lack of money creates suffering. Remove suffering, and space appears for meaning. So don't let anyone shame you for wanting security. Don't let culture confuse struggle with virtue. And don't mistake financial ignorance for wisdom. Money is not the goal, it's the tool. And tools in the right hands build freedom.